What's going on, lads? I think Colombia must have just scored now. Everybody's going crazy outside. Okay, hello. What's up? We're gonna chat today about how you don't have to become like a weird, odd person if you want to learn how to approach. So I'm gonna go through some stuff in the stream, and how the topic came about. I'll talk about as well. But yeah, first I was sick this past weekend, so I I wasn't doing much productive. I wasn't filming. Unfortunately, I lost a weekend of filming. And so, what was I doing instead? Probably what you do when you are sick. I was binge watching YouTube. I was just watching a bunch of bullshit on YouTube all weekend long. Naturally, I came across cold approach videos. Right? What do you know? They get recommended to me as well. And the first thing I'll say is there are a few creators that were solid. Right? Some guys that I clicked on their video and I went, yeah, respect. You know, the guy's showing his infield, different skill levels for different guys, but different countries. Some guys are solid, but a lot of the videos that I clicked on were just a little bit weird, just a little odd. And majority of them were talking head videos. Guys sat in front of a screen and telling you about like techniques or blueprints or how to approach without any fear and never get rejected and all these like big promises, right? So that's kind of what sparked the title of this video here. The stream is I just wanted to chat to the normal guys because I know there's a lot of my subscriber base, especially the guys who've been coming through the door recently over the past few months. Not only guys that I've worked with already, but now the guys coming up in July that I'll be coaching, and the guys who just have even booked calls who haven't actually converted into clients are just really solid, normal guys. And it's really a breath of fresh air because that's one thing I didn't know I was getting myself into. Obviously, I started making content. I quit my tech sales job, started traveling and coaching cold approach. I didn't know that it was so adjacent to this whole like pickup, red pill, PUA kind of a space. And honestly, no disrespect to those guys, if they're making their money and they feel as though they're making their impact. But I look over there and I go, I feel like they're just weirdos, just a bunch of odd guys. If they don't have a borderline personality disorder, they usually have like a deep-seated hatred for women. It's like you're watching a video and the guy's it's clear that he like got his heart broken 5 years ago and still hasn't recovered from it. They're talking about just the most heinous stuff, right? And then unfortunately, like cold approach gets looped into that oftentimes. Oh yeah, not to mention, guys are always chatting about like lay counts, body counts, right? As though like that is their main goal and focus in their life is like maximizing their lay count. They're always chatting about, yeah, I banged this girl and blah blah blah. Oh my god, the blonde girl, and they're just chatting about this video after video after video. And I'm clicking around going, where the fucking infields guy? Like you coach approach, right? And so obviously, this stream I'm not going to be naming names. I think the content does the work for me. Honestly, like obviously the subscriber count isn't as high as a lot of these creators, so fair enough, but we're going on 80 infields uploaded here and we're only getting more. I'm going to go film some more next month, the upcoming months, and it's like I'm trying to let the content do the talking. Whereas a lot of people are like they'll sit in front of the screen and they'll just talk about techniques, how to approach best openers, and then you search infield on their channel and there's like three uploads. And two of them are just still talking head videos with a thumbnail of that. It's odd stuff. Okay, so I'm not here to bash the whole stream. The point, the reason why I'm teeing this up is to remind guys about who I'm talking to when I make this content. I see approach as an isolated skill, and that's how I learned it, and that's how I use it, and that's how I teach it. It only seems, let's make sure this is still plugged in. It only seems like a bigger portion of my life because this is what I do for a living now. Because I make content around it, I coach guys. I put their transformation series on my channel. So it seems like a bigger portion of my life than really it even is. Yeah, it's like, okay, obviously I'm doing this for a living, so I'm going to be talking about approach quite a bit, but I'm just going to like walk you through firstly what my life looked like before coaching cold approach, what it looks like now, and then I'll just walk you through the lives of some of my current clients. I'll use aliases just so you can see like how regular we are. Regular, right? We're not like these super end of the spectrum red pill guys talking about all women are evil. Oh my God, they're all gonna leave you. You should never get into a relationship. Blah blah blah. What's your lay count, bro? Like it's just odd. I'm looking at this stuff. It's just odd stuff, man. And I'm like, you know, because I've seen um, so many potential clients come forward, end up working with me, and then even the ones that I haven't worked with yet, but have reached out for help, I'm going, oh, there's a lot of like regular guys, like normal guys who have normal lives, who have normal social lives, who are not like stuck in this weird pocket of the internet. And they go out, they socialize, they play sports, they whatever combat sports, they take classes, dance. They've got a career, they've got a friend group, they organize events. Regular guys, yeah, like myself, like my clients, like my friends. There's a lot of us that are kind of, part of the reason why I was a bit hesitant before I reached out for coaching, because I got coached through Cold Approach, was that I also saw a lot of this like pickup stuff over here, and I went, ew. I went, I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want people to think I'm a pickup artist. The term itself almost makes me gag. I'm going, what the, that's like somebody's sole identity is like, oh my God, look at me. I can get girls, I can pick up chicks. And they base their self worth on this. I shouldn't, yeah, I guess I probably sound like I'm really bashing. Again, if they're making content that is working for guys that consume the content, and if their clients are getting solid results, then fuck yeah, like sick, which is specifically why I'm not naming names here. But I just don't want to be. I don't want it to even touch me or my channel. I don't want to be associated with it at all. I think it's a little icky. I'm going, that's weird. And I don't. The clients that reach out to me, they're in the same headspace. So I want to reset here. Remind guys, because obviously it's been a while since I've like chatted about this on a stream. Probably got a bunch of new subscribers who've never heard me talk in a live stream like this. So you might come across the content. You're seeing like infield, 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 and you're going, "Oh my God, is this guy a pickup artist?" No, no, no. I'm just like sick with this skill. That's it. I've been out here for it's the 23 days now. I've got 10, 12, 15 videos ready to roll out just from the time we've been out here alone. And we're not even filming every day. Yeah, it's like I'm here with my friend Joseph. We're going out. We're going out to cafes. We're having a drink. We're going out to bars. We're having a walk around the city. We're having fun. And then every now and then I'll just bring my camera out. We'll be like, "You want to film today? Fuck yeah!" I'll bring the camera out, and then we'll just get clip after clip after clip. Yeah, this does not consume my entire life. So don't think that if you want to learn a skill like approach, you need to just like what's the word? Uproot your entire life, quit your job, and start becoming a pickup guy. Nah, that's not how I learn the skill. That's not how I use the skill. That's not how I teach the skill. So yeah, what I wrote here on my laptop, I put, you can be a regular guy and just learn this as an isolated skill. You can take, obviously if you want to work with me, if we're a good fit, I'll show you the ropes. I'll show you what I can do, teach you how to do the same. Obviously, we'll mold it to your own personality. But the key is once you know how to actually carry on a conversation, get over your fear of doing this. This is just like a tool in the tool belt. For example, I'm taking boxing classes out here, right? I have no dreams of becoming a boxer, like a professional boxer. I just want to know, like, if I'm put in a dangerous situation, kind of how to defend myself and where to put my hands and stuff. Like, that's all. That's why I'm taking a boxing class. And also, I like the cardio and stuff, and it's a little bit challenging, right? I don't want to become a professional boxer. So, same thing with this, all right? A lot of normal guys are probably watching the content and you're kind of on the outskirts. Like, yeah, should I apply for coaching? Should I don't know. Does that mean I'm gonna have to like become a pickup artist? Does that mean I'm gonna have to tell my friends, all right, I'm quitting my data engineering job. I'm gonna go be a pickup? Nah, nah, nah. You don't have to do any of that shit. None of that. I promise you. At least if you come over to this side, all right. At least if you work with me, I'm not turning you into one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys. And to prove this to you, I'm just gonna describe my life before learning cold approach, when I had the skill of cold approach, acquired it, but I wasn't coaching it, and then now what life looks like. So yeah, so before approach, obviously I was pretty sexually frustrated, as I've chatted about a lot on my channel. And the reason is because I was just swiping on apps. This is after I graduated high school. I played football in high school, so I got a girlfriend and a half, a couple of hookups and stuff just from the clout from the football team. After I graduated, that went away, obviously. So I was going months at a time, swiping on apps, not having much luck. Every now and then, sometimes like a coworker, I'd meet a girl that I was like at a grocery store I was working at, or I remember one time I got a girl's number that was working at a Jack in the Box when I was door dashing. Yeah, so like little moments here and there. But the point is, it was pretty few and far between. It was mostly dependent on dating apps, and I was pretty upset about that. Um, that's dating wise, right? But like just life wise in general, I was working odd jobs, trying to like work my way up the ladder, washing windows, serving food at a restaurant, door dashing, as I mentioned. Got my first sales job. In between this, I had different friend groups, different phases that I'm sure we go through. Are we back? Are you kidding me, dude? Are we back? Oh, I'm actually an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. I have this app. I have this app, and it blocks YouTube, and so I. Oh, and so instead of before I started the stream, instead of I'm silly, but just disregard. Hopefully the stream is okay. I don't know if what can I do but just fucking laugh at myself. Sometimes I'm a really smart guy, aren't I? Jesus Christ. I thought I was going in too. I was just bar after bar after bar. Damn, okay. Well, the good news is there's like one viewer in the before the stream cut anyway, so apologies to you, my guy, but here we are. We're back. That's so funny. Okay. So, anyways, we're back. What were we saying? Yeah. Well. Oh, I think I was just going through the backstory, right? Okay. So let's get back into it. So remember, the stream is you can just be a regular fucking guy. You can be a regular guy and learn how to cold approach purely to learn how to just get dates for yourself without relying on an app. I guess can I just simplify it that much? Likely all you want from this skill is to go, oh, I don't need to use Tinder anymore. I can just like walk over to her when I'm out and about going to meet my friends for a coffee, and then that girl over there, she's cute, let me go say hi to her. That can be this skill, dude. That can be this skill. It does not need to you do not need to become one of these odd guys who like puts on a trench coat and Chelsea boots, peruses the mall every Saturday afternoon, walks over and has these odd lines about, oh my God, you caught my eye, and the way that the red bounces off of your cardigan, it makes me. Are you a Virgo? Like these odd. Oh, tell me your story. These weird lines. These weird. Okay, to not shit on them too much. Let's just put the focus back on myself. So I'm trying to prove to anybody who's like, I want to learn how to cold approach. I don't want to be put into this box of like red pill PUA odd guy with a personality disorder who hates women and is mad at the world and blah 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 blah. You don't want to put into that box. I get it. Me either. My clients don't either. All right. So back on track. Yeah, I told you a bit about dating was few and far between. But as far as my life, right, especially when I got to around 2021, I got a sales job. I started making money, right. We were playing a lot of beer die. So I had friends that had there's this game called Beer Die. I had a backyard area. They'd invite me over after my sales job. We'd go, we'd chug beers, we'd play beer die. Um, Still a lot of heads down work. I had an electric scooter back then, I remember, and I just moved to San Francisco, so I'd be whizzing around the city on my electric scooter. Not too much of a social life back then. That was around the time I was 21. If we move a little bit forward to 22, this is still before I learned cold approach. I moved in with a guy that I went to high school with. He was on my football team. And the social life picked up at this moment. So he was still going to university at the time, and he would get invited to some parties, some nights out. So he'd invite me, the roommate. Oh, look, can I bring my roommate? So that was sick. So we'd be going out to bars. I remember we did the whole SantaCon thing in San Francisco, Halloween, right? All of these little events and college events that go on. And so I remember I had quite a few nights out with him, with our little circle of friends, and then sometimes his college friends as well. A couple parties that I got invited to, which was awesome. Again, trying to just lay the foundation of regular schmegular guy, regular guy, regular life. So what was I not doing? I was not sitting at home playing League of Legends, watching Red Pill podcasts, and contributing to forums about how evil women are. That's not what I was doing. You know what I was doing? I was fucking playing spike ball like the nerd that I am. I broke my wrist, my right wrist in 2022 because I was playing spike ball too aggressively. All right, so I am a nerd, but I'm not the weird red pill forum nerd. All right. Yeah, so hobbies, right? I was playing spike ball. We'd have this little Thursday spike ball thing we were doing in San Francisco. We're going out to parties, going out to events, going out to bars, doing our best to shoot our shot, not going anywhere, not landing anywhere, but doing our best. I'd play pool a lot with my dad. This is around the time I was learning how to play pool, so I'd play a lot of pool with my dad. Regular guy. And oh yeah, I should have mentioned this. I was a six-figure programmer at the time. I was working remotely for a startup as a software engineer, and I was making six figures, and I was 22 years old. All right, so like that's a glimpse into my life right before learning cold approach. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is because there's probably a lot of guys who are in who are consistently watching my channel that somewhat fit the category that I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be the same job title or the same interests and stuff, but you probably like you have the same qualities that I'm talking about. You're not just sitting at home playing online games and contributing to Reddit forums and shit about how mad you are and how you're owed something and women should approach you and all this weird shit. You're not doing any of that, which is, I kind of see as like the trickle down effect of a lot of these red pill guys that are making some of this atrocious cold approach content, as opposed to myself, my friends, and some of these other creators that I must give credit to who also are doing solid work that I'm not affiliated with, but I can watch their infield and just go, yeah, respect, right? But there's just a lot of like noise that I'm noticing. This is just a reminder. I was sick this past weekend, so I was just binge watching YouTube. A lot of cold approach content came up. I went down the rabbit hole and I saw a bunch of talking head odd guys talking about this and that tactic line. This is how you never get rejected. This and that, and then I like looked for their infield footage where they're demonstrating, what they're talking about, and I just couldn't find it. And I was going, well, that's tough, isn't it? That's so tough. So, all right, back in the scene. So now let's describe the life as soon as I learned approach. And that you're going to love this because it's going to sound pretty close to what it was before. Okay. So after I learned the skill of approach, my life was I had gotten laid off from my programming job before I learned how to approach. This is part of the reason why I had so much free time to go and learn cold approach. I had some money saved up, so it kind of worked out. I got back home from Warsaw, Poland, where I learned how to approach. I started job searching, so I was making another portfolio website to showcase my React programming skills. So that was cool, but yeah, so most of my day consisted of either working on this portfolio website, ripping my electric skateboard around the city. Oh, I fucking loved this thing. I still have it to this day. It's it's pretty self-explanatory. It's an electric skateboard, but I would be going to parks. I'd bring the laptop, fire off some job applications at the park. I'd be going to cafes. I'd be going to get tacos. This wasn't the smartest move. I will say this. I was 23. I forgive myself, but I was definitely fucking off my savings at this time in my life. And then what I was also doing throughout the day, oh yeah, also spike ball, right? Spike ball was a big part of this. I was going out to play spike ball, still going to play pool with my dad, still going out with my roommate every now and then. This is before we separated and moved out to different places. And yeah, still going to parties, still getting invited to parties. But what do you know? My life was like enhanced because I had this skill of cold approach. So like the parties that I did get invited to, all of a sudden I was chatting to the girls at the parties. All of a sudden it was actually starting to go somewhere. Yeah, when I would go out to cafes, when I'd go out to meet up with my friends to play spike ball, I'd see girls that I liked along the way, just like I used to see before I learned cold approach. Except now, all of a sudden, I had this skill set, this tool in my pocket that when I saw a girl and I liked her and I felt good enough and I could gather up enough courage in that moment, then I'd walk over and do my thing. And oftentimes it was like with my electric skateboard, which was pretty sick. If you're an OG in the channel, you probably know about this. I had the little spy glasses, I had the board. I would whip over to the girl, I would hop off the board, I'd go, "Excuse me, I skated past you, you look so good," right? Give my spiel, whatever. And I was just lining up date after date after date. I wasn't coaching approach. This is before I'd even started the channel, so I didn't have the glasses yet, but I had my skateboard, and I was just having a fucking time. I was having a ball. All right, so once again, like, what did I not describe here? I did not describe my life as, yeah, I learned cold approach, and all of a sudden, every day I woke up and I went to the Sun Valley Mall or whatever mall it is in San Francisco, and I just started like pounding the pavement for 9 hours a day, just approaching girls. And no, no, I wasn't doing that shit. You don't have to do that. All right, you don't have to become that. That's not who I am. It's not what I do. My channel gives you a very specific view of my life because this is what I do for a living. I coach this. So obviously I'm going to upload infield, 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 infield because I want my content to do the speaking for me. I don't want to make talking head videos about like, this is how you cold approach. Fuck that. I'll just show you because I have balls. I have balls and I have a camera. So I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to tell you, you have to do this. You have to say that. You'll never get rejected. Fuck that. I'm just real. I'm just going to actually show you what it looks like by doing it, getting out of my comfort zone, miking myself up, handing the camera to my friend and going, all right, let's fucking go. Let's get in the field, right? That's what I do because I coach this skill, okay? You don't need to do any of that shit. This is just a tool, all right? It can be used as a tool. And then even now with my source of income being coaching cold approach, somehow I am still the furthest thing from what I would consider, what I see as a pickup artist. I'm looking over at these guys and I'm still wincing, going, oh my God, this guy has 4 infields on his channel and he's spending 9 hours a day talking about how lay count, this and that, never get rejected, blah, 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 blah. I'm going, bro, me and my friend were doing more in an afternoon out here in Medellin. I barely speak the language. We're doing more in an afternoon than a lot of these guys are doing in a fucking decade, as far as proof, as far as footage of them doing the thing they claim to teach. And while doing that, here's the biggest differentiator in my mind. I'm still a normal fucking guy, a normal guy. Right? That's what I love about it. Is I'm still a normal guy. I still just fly to Medellin, link up with Joseph. I'm like, what up, bro? What do you want to do today? We go out, we have a little drink, we chat shit, we talk, we watch the fucking soccer game, the World Cup game. We're just normal fucking. We have a burger. We're just normal guys. Yeah, we hang out. There's this cool street in Medellin called La Setenta. We'll go out there at night. There'll be a bunch of party buses driving by. We'll just be fucking dancing with the party buses, interacting with people as we walk past. Every now and then I'll pull a GoPro out and get some footage. And that's just me in a foreign country. That's what I'm doing here. Not to mention I'm also taking salsa classes because I look like a giraffe when I try to dance. So I'm like, let me try to get this fixed a little bit. I don't want to look decent. I want to kind of know what to do. I still look pretty bad, honestly, but it's a lot better than it was before. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, like I mentioned, boxing classes while I'm out here. I go to the gym. I hit a back day today. Normal guys, not these weirdos who just sit at home, argue about whose body count is the highest, argue about who bangs the hottest girls, as though that's like the metric for their self-worth as a person. It's just odd behavior. And then the same, most of the people that are doing that, you look for the infield demonstrations of them showing what they're doing and they don't even do it. And so it's like, yeah, I guess I'm just learning that there's a lot of noise in the industry for sure because I'm fairly new to it. I kind of fell into it if I'm being honest. I wanted to learn how to get off dating apps, and then I just got really good at lining up dates through Approach. And then I went, oh fuck, I could probably just teach this. Right? I was programming, I was doing tech sales. I was going, this shit sucks. I'll teach guys how to change their lives around, their dating lives. Right? I kind of fell into the industry. I wasn't like looking at it going, I just need to get a certain lay count and then just odd stuff. So anyways, that's my life. And then let's chat about the life of my clients. All right. So I'm not gonna, I'm gonna use aliases. I'm gonna protect private information as I always do. But I think this is helpful because it's one thing hearing me, it's one thing seeing my footage, and then also I'm glad that you've been able to see guys like Gary, guys like Peter, guys like Isaac, and then coming soon Henry. I just need to sit down, and that's going to be a beast to edit. But I need to sit down and do that. We got Henry's transformation series rolling out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we got Gary, guy who's 5'4", Italian guy from Canada. We got Peter, guy who's a Indian, about my height, Indian guy from India, living in Canada. Henry, the guy who's going to roll out soon, is a Chinese guy from Shanghai, living in the east coast of the U.S. I won't give away the state. And then obviously, more to come. More to come. I've got more coaching coming up, and I believe I'll have another transformation series in the near future, aside from Henry's. So you get to see them actually like transform. But I think it'd be helpful to like hear about these guys, right? Like hear about who they are. They're not they're not pickup guys. They're not pickup artists. They're not day gamers. Yeah, they're not PUA. They're just guys. They're just regular fucking guys. Yeah. So let's go through these guys. Gary, you guys should know Gary quite well. One of my favorite clients by far. Well, this guy is he's working in construction. Yeah, working alongside his family. It's a family company. He's working in construction, doing some sales for the company. He talks about all the time in the group about how he's going out with his boys. This past weekend, he sent a video about how he had this graduation to go to, that graduation to go to. Then there was a big party after that. Then he was meeting up with his boys. They were going out. One of them wanted to learn how to do some approaches. So he was like, yeah, I might show you. Yeah, regular fucking guy. Regular guy, regular hobbies, works a job, works his ass off. Yeah, he's in the thick of it, right in season right now. And he's not even approaching these days. He's got a girlfriend. The guy's not even approaching these days. Yeah. He came to me, paid me money. I taught him his skill set. I guided him through the ins and outs because it is quite difficult to learn. And then what do you know? The guy's got a girlfriend. He's on with the rest of his life. Also, he tells me about how his sales numbers are up because of this, some of the skills he acquired through cold approach, some of the boldness, some of the charisma, some of the resilience, etc. So his sales at work are way up now, right? Regular guy, regular job, yeah, regular lifestyle. Got some friends. They go out, they go clubbing, they go partying. Oh, and by the way, he knows how to cold approach now. Check. Done. Move on. Let's move on with life now. Now he's on to the next skill, ready to build the next skill, ready to scale the family company. Not a weird pickup guy just trying to fucking hop on forums and go, oh, this is my late count. This is my. None of that weirdo stuff. All right. All right, let's chat about Henry. You've not seen Henry's transformation series yet, but this is a stellar example. Also one of my favorite clients. I got a lot of favorite clients, man. So what's really cool about Henry is firstly, he's an immigrant. Yeah, so he's not from the United States. He moved here when he was, actually, I don't remember. I'll have to ask him. But I think it was like 7 years ago. I think it was like 7 years ago. And he's like 27, 28 now, right? Software engineer. All right, software engineer. He's got a master's degree, so clearly an ambitious guy. Taking a dance class right now. All right, this is Henry's awesome. All right, taking a dance class right now, chatting into the group about how he's got a crush on one of the girls on the dance floor, doing his approach, going to. Oh, this is cool. Also, he's made friends with some of the people in dance through some of the boldness he got through with learning cold approach. Yeah, so now he's way more involved in some of these activities. First, he's got the boldness to take the dance class, right? But now he's also like trying to help organize nights out. They're going out to happy hours and stuff after they're learning the salsa. So he's got a friend group now in the dance class. And also one of the guys that he's friends with through the class, they go out every now and then on nights out. They've even gone out for approach sessions, right? They talked about cold approach briefly. And he's been invited from some of these guys, some of these friends he's made to raves. He's gone, he's made out with some of the girls at the raves, had fun nights there, fun stories here and there. Yeah, different nights out, bars, venues. And then he also does karaoke. He's taken singing lessons. Yeah, he's invited some of the friends out to karaoke. He's in Switzerland right now with a girl that he approached when he was in Japan earlier this year. I mean, what a fucking story. Now, this is going to be awesome when his series rolls out because I'll be able to sprinkle this part in as well. The guy's in Switzerland right now. He cold approached a girl in Tokyo. And we'll have the receipts for this, just so you know. We'll have all the text threads, and I can't wait for the series to roll out. But yeah, he met a girl when he was in Tokyo at some convention, approached her, they went on a date, and then he had to go back to Shanghai. She went to whatever, and now he was back in the States. They kept in touch over Instagram, and they hit it off so well on that first date. She wanted to travel Europe. He wanted to travel Europe. He works remotely. So now he's in Switzerland with one of the girls that he approached in Tokyo months ago. Same hotel room. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. And they're just gonna be traveling Europe while he's working. I don't know what she's doing. I assume she's working, but while he's working remotely. It's like, how sick is that? They're meeting up in Switzerland. What? I've never done that. That's fucking sick, right? This is what I mean. He's not a pickup artist. He's just a regular fucking guy. He's working. He's making a shitload of cash as a software engineer. Accomplished guy with his degree, with his master's degree. Has different hobbies. Made a whole new friend group in the city that he lives in through some of the skills he built with cold approach. Has been on a lot of dates through approach, and now is even on this little love story excursion in Switzerland. Yeah, that's what I mean. Regular guys. All right, so now it's not just Ephraim telling you about how you don't have to become this weird like gimmicky pickup guy, trench coat. Let's hit the mall today and tomorrow and the next day. Let's approach as many girls as possible. Let's get our notch count as high as possible because that makes us feel good as a man. Nah, dude, I'm targeting the normal guys. The guys who are like, I just got a cool life. I go out with my friends every now and then. Probably you're a Friday night, Saturday night bar warrior, just like I used to be. You're going out to venues, maybe you're taking different classes. I got a friend back home in North Beach who was taking a pottery class, random. Definitely gave him shit for it. But it's cool. It's just normal, like mid-20s type shit. Mid-20s, early 30s. Yeah, even mid-30s. Like we're just leveling up in different aspects of life. We're enjoying life as it comes, and we're also lining up dates. Yeah, that's like the big asterisk there that like a lot of guys are missing, that I was missing before I learned approach. The dates part. It's like I was doing everything else, and I was substituting dates with bong rips because I was sad and lonely, and I was like, fuck, well, at least I can get high and get free dopamine. Yeah. But instead of having to do that, instead of having to rely on an algorithm to feed you a fat girl whenever you are lucky enough to match with her through Tinder, instead of that, you just pick up your nuts, you learn a difficult skill that I will guide you through. And then your life just like it starts to take a different trajectory. Like you can like physically see the trajectory change when you learn a skill like approach. Do you think Henry, the Chinese guy from Shanghai, would be in Switzerland right now if he didn't learn cold approach? Or at least in Switzerland with a girl that he approached? Probably not. Probably not. I'm sure he'd be doing something fun because he was already an awesome guy. But would he be on this whole love story excursion? Probably not. Okay? This is what I mean by regular schmegular guys. I got a guy, we can call him Jonathan. One of my most recent client. I coached him in New York City right after Gary. Quite an introverted guy. He's got a sick look to him, just so you know. He's got like a rock star look to him, got long dreads, handsome guy, tall guy as well, right? So got some things going for him already. But he's really, really introverted. Yeah, so he came to me. His immersion was still extremely successful for where his starting point was, but he's more of a long-term project. Well, guess what that guy's doing? Is he suiting up, putting on a bow tie, and going to the mall every weekend? No. Yeah, he's going out, he's putting in his reps, and he happens to live in a city that's quite sparse. So he's pivoting. He's signing up for events. So he's using the skill of approach and the boldness and the balls and the charisma that he built through it, through all the approaches that he did with me. And I'm encouraging him, okay, you know what? There's not enough foot traffic. Well, let's pivot. Let's figure this out. And so he's signing up he did a singles event, escape room, made some friends that way. He signed up for an improv class. He's just had his second class this past week. Yeah, and he's updating me on how he feels and how and the growth, the internal growth that he's feeling. He signed up for Dungeons and Dragons in person kind of a gameplay thing. I don't know much about it. I think it's this card game, but you go in person and you got to do some stuff. And it's like, that's what I mean, though. You go from a super introverted guy who'd never done a cold approach to like, well, now I'm gonna go to start going to fucking escape room singles events. Now I'm gonna go to Dungeons and Dragons in-person meetups. Now I'm gonna, whatever your interests are. Now I'm gonna sign up for an improv class. Very pivotal skills. Yeah, things that he wouldn't have otherwise done unless he had learned a skill like approach. But he's not turning into a PUA, odd PUA type of a guy. Yeah, we've got Peter, great example. Another one of my favorite clients. Peter, he talks into the group on a very frequent basis. Guy just had another date this past weekend. He sent selfies in the group, which is awesome. This guy's awesome because his story is very interesting, and you saw a good portion of it through his transformation series. But since that series, he's actually had quite a few ups and downs where he had this kind of this situation at home with his roommate, so he had to find a new spot. He was in a pretty dicey position for a while. He lost his job around that same time as well. So he was pretty close to like falling under right there. He's talking about, I think I might have to move back to India with my parents. I kept encouraging him, kept feeding him with guidance and like, no, we just pivot. We pivot. You don't got to move back. Let's pivot. Let's figure this out. And so now the guy's working a sales job. All right. When before he was doing like web design marketing, now he's doing sales, cold approach. Right? The balls that he developed through approach can be transferred, a very transferable skill, over to sales. He's dug himself out of this financial pit that he's been in for the last few months, got himself his own apartment, the sales job, right? And he's going out with friends, talked about a night out at a bar as well. And then he's also meeting up. He has a couple guys in Toronto. You know Gary. There's a few other guys that they know though, and they go out every now and then and they put up some shots. Yeah, not in like all right, we need to become the best pickup artist guys in Toronto. We need to do this and that. No, they're going, hey, it's a nice day. Like, let's go find a date today. Yeah, let's go chat to some girls and get a date. Not these like odd forum guys. All right, I think I've driven the point home. Yeah. And then also, I should mention this as well. He's actively studying French. It seems to be something that the Canadian immigration wants, is for people that want to stay in the country to know French, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he's got different interests and stuff. And that's just a couple of the clients, right? So I'm not going to go through each person individually. I just wanted to highlight a couple of the guys who have reached out to work with me, some of them whose footage you've seen on the channel. So you already see that they're just cool guys. They're not guys who go, they don't walk over to the girl and go, she owes me something. Oh, you're not even that cute. And, they get rejected and they get all mad. They're not those guys. They're just chill guys. They're just cool guys, cool lives. And they just want to learn how to line up dates the old-fashioned way. That's it. That's as simple as this skill set needs to be. So I put this stream together as a reminder to invite guys out of the shadow, and into the spotlight. Because I'm aware that there's a lot of guys just like me and just like my clients that don't want to be associated with weird gimmicky pickup stuff. They don't want to be associated with this ultra end of the spectrum red pill women are evil stuff. None of that shit. They just want to continue living their normal lives. They want to continue leveling up their career, their business, whichever it is for them. They want to continue signing up for classes, learning new skills, having new experiences, traveling to new places. They want to continue making new friends. Yeah, the journey along the way, right? And in addition to that, they also want to go on dates and get blown, essentially. Yeah, they don't want to feel sexually frustrated. They don't want to be swiping on Tinder on their toilet seat at 12 a.m. every Friday night going, fuck, why can't I get a match? They don't want to do that anymore. I didn't want to do that anymore. And so this is the solution that I can present to you. And the beautiful part about my solution is that I'm not just going to tell you about it. I'm going to keep on demonstrating it for you. And if you're not ready to book the call right now, that's okay. Because I'm going to keep on demonstrating it for you. I'm going to keep on pissing you off with proof. Every few days, you're going to get pissed eventually. And I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, you're somewhere around the mid 20s, mid 30s. Career is going decent. Either it just started or you're working your way up the ladder. You're doing pretty decent in life. Decent social skills, decent social life, nothing too crazy. You probably get invited to events. Maybe you even organize the events. You probably take a couple classes here and there. You're probably part of a run club in a metropolitan city. Yeah, you're probably part of a New York City run club trying to find dates that way. You probably signed up for clay class or pottery class so you could try to find dates that way. You know I'm talking to you. Yeah, and maybe the hesitation right now is like, I don't want to be looped into like this weird pickup game. Don't worry, you won't be. Not if you come to this side. All right, because we're changing the game. We're digging our own. Yeah, I guess hole isn't the right. Jeez, I should have rephrased that. We're I guess we're paving our own path is a better way to put this. I'm not gonna send you in that weird direction. I'm just gonna essentially teach you how to do what you see me do on camera. It doesn't scream pickup, does it? It's just like, oh, it's like a guy chatting to a girl. It's just like a guy doing his best to flirt. Sometimes it goes nowhere. Sometimes it goes somewhere. And it's like, well, what do you do when she does like you? I teach you how to handle that. What do you do when she doesn't like you? I teach you how to not get super down on yourself. And then also, I teach you how to integrate the skill into your life so that it literally is just a tool in your pocket. And then you just fucking move on with life. Yeah, I want clients to come through that just want to learn approach, use it as a way to expedite their progress in life, and then move on. And then just like go tackle the next big thing that they want to do in life. It's like, all right, sweet. I learned how to, let's say I learned how to sell. Okay, sweet. Then I learned how to cold approach. Next, I'm going to learn how to do my taxes. That's another big one on the list, yeah. Oh, sweet. The next I'm going to learn how to what? Dance, fight, sing, improv class, act, whatever the skill is that you're crochet. I will learn how to play the drums or the guitar. Like this is just another skill that you once acquired, changes your life, changes the trajectory of your life, and then enhances anything that's related to social skills. Anything. Yeah, job performance is going to go up. If you have to communicate with any human, it's going to go up. Your ability to handle difficult circumstances is going to go up because that's exactly what happens when you're stood there dick in hand chatting to a girl who walks straight past you and you go, ah, fuck, that kind of stings. Yeah, you do that enough time, your resilience meter, it goes up, it rises, and everything that's related to that goes up. So anyways, yeah, hopefully you boys resonated with that. If you already are familiar with my content and you would like my help, if you feel targeted, hopefully you feel targeted. Yeah, I know there's guys that are watching that know that I'm talking to them. Yeah, I literally just described you to a T. I'm essentially describing myself and my clients. And by doing that, I know that I'm describing a lot of other guys as well. Mid 20s to mid 30s, decent career trajectory. Yeah, you're starting out or it's going well. You're not some bum sitting at home playing League of Legends, unemployed, not doing anything all day. Decent social skills. Yeah, you're not some like half autistic guy who can't make eye contact and is trying to use this as like a get laid quick scheme. No, you're just a regular fucking guy. Regular guy. Yeah, majority of the population. Regular guy, know how to make eye contact, know how to socialize with women in most contexts. Yeah, at work, you probably have no problem chatting to your cute coworker. But if you saw that same girl on the street and she was a stranger, then you would freeze up. You're who I'm talking to. Yeah, you're who I'm talking to. Decent social skills, decent social life. Know that you should be doing well. Know that you are already dateable. Know that there are other guys that your peers, maybe it's me, maybe it's my clients that you've seen, that have dating lives that you're after, yet for some reason you just can't seem to figure it out. You're stuck on this hinge wave. Yeah, just mass DMing girls on Instagram like I used to do, trying every funnel, every avenue, but the one that takes courage, which is why it's the one that's the most effective. This is exactly why it's the most effective. It's because it takes courage, because it's the path of most resistance. I'm talking to the guy who wants to embark on that journey, the hardest way, not the hardest way. I was just a quick tangent to end off the stream. I'll just say, first link in the description below. You can apply to work with me by booking an application call. If we're a good fit, then we'll talk about the rest of the details. But yeah, to end off the stream, I was at a cafe earlier this week, and I was editing, and this guy he strikes up a conversation with me. I think he ended up being from like Sweden or something, And naturally, the conversation goes into the whole "what do you do" space, right? And so the guy he asked me, "So, like, are you working while you're out here? This and that." I'm going, kinda. Yeah, I'm doing some editing right now." He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And the way that I've been phrasing it to strangers, to civilians, is when I'm talking to most people, I just go, "Oh, I help guys chat to girls." I say it simple like that, and I phrase it like that for a reason. It's because I already know that, like, if I say something like, well, anyways, we're not even gonna go down that route. But inevitably, I got looped in once again to he goes, "Oh, so you're a dating coach, like pickup?" And I go, I visibly cringe when he says that, but I go, something like that, yeah. And he goes, "Oh, okay, like cold approach." I'm like, "Yeah." And my eyes light up. I go, "Yeah, yes, yes, cold approach, yes." I don't see these as synonymous, by the way. I don't see this pickup and I don't see them as synonymous. But anyways, so he's asking me about, oh, well, why don't you just teach your clients to use dating apps and this and that? And yeah, it's just interesting to see like where the standard guy's head is at, because fortunately for him, the guy says he's got a girlfriend back in Sweden. He was out here to get some dental procedure done, and that's why he was in Medellin. But he was pretty inquisitive, and he's going like, oh, why, dating apps this, and I remember specifically him saying something like, yeah, but isn't dating apps easier because you already know which girls like you, like the ones that you matched with, you already know that they like you, but like cold approach, you don't know none of them, you don't know if they'll like you or not. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, that's the fun, that's the fun part. And he's going, yeah, but isn't like the dating app easier? And I think he wanted me to like convince him that approach was easier, but it's not easier. It's not easier. It's way more effective, but it's not easier. Right? And so I'm just sitting there and I'm like, he just can't compute that there's somebody that's actively choosing a harder path because of what awaits for him on the other side, because of the self-development, because of the personal development, because of who I'm becoming, because of the opportunities that are opening up, because of how my life is improving. He like couldn't really compute that, like, wait, like, why aren't you just using like the easiest path to get laid possible? And I'm just sitting back going, yeah, he just doesn't get it. It is harder. You're right. It is harder. And I attract the people, the clients that reach out to me, that I attract are guys who already understand that. They already understand this is gonna be fucking difficult. Yeah. Just because I make it look easy on camera doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean it doesn't sting a little bit when I get blown out as I'm filming and I'm going, dang it, I wish that went well. It didn't go well. It's all right. Now we move. So yeah, that was just a fun little story to end off. First link in the description below if you'd like to apply for coaching. Throw the like. Yeah, throw me a like. If you enjoyed the channel, if you enjoyed the live stream, the content. I'm coming off the cold like I was talking about, so hopefully this was coherent enough of a stream. Hopefully I shat on the PUA guys enough here. And I didn't name any names. No names have been named, so nobody even knows who I'm talking about. And nobody needs to know, really. All you need to do is click the link in the description if you're a guy I'm chatting to. If you're not, then just enjoy the free content. Drop it a like. Yeah, help us grow. Okay, all right. I'm gonna log off now. So chat to you boys next time. Link in description. Click it. Goodbye. Ciao. Adios. Buenas noches.